not a completely unusual sight for people who live in the most populated city of Illinois. They've been seeing the Chicago Transit Authority stage some serious sparkle to celebrate the season for 33 years now. A closer look shows you how the bright, brilliant colors and festive lights surround Santa, who's coming to town on a train, a sight that might vaguely remind you of the Polar Express as it makes its way through the Windy City. But it's not just about spreading Christmas cheer and giving Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Rudolph, and the others a break. The holiday train is used to deliver baskets of food to local charities. So whether it's the light bright luminance or the commendable cause that brings the smiles, it keeps a little seasonal spirit on track. Hey, guess what? Fridays are awesome! Just thought I'd make you wait a bit. I'm Carl Azuz for the World from A to Z. It makes our day to be part of yours. Next story centers on a mystery in the sky over New Jersey. Residents and law enforcement officials have been observing unidentified aircraft for weeks now, and the fact that so little is known about them is causing concern and alarm.
Questions abound about what these moving lights in the sky are, but there seems to be certainty about what they are not.
It definitely wasn't a plane because it was too low, and it was also going back and forth and then forwards and backwards.
Mark Taylor is the mayor of Florham Park, New Jersey.
They look like a small car to me. Their wingspans are probably 6 feet across.
What they appear to be are drones, clusters of unidentified drones, flying much lower than a plane would.
I think the creepy part is not that it's just a drone, that they're so large.
Planes, they have, a white tail light coming from them, and each wing has a different color, whether it be red or green. Whatever it is, it's different.
Understandably, there is concern. The drones are occasionally flying near military facilities. But it's all still a mystery. Homeland Security and FBI officials in New Jersey have just met with state and local lawmakers. They and the state's governor have stressed the drones do not appear to threaten public safety. Nevertheless,
people are calling myself, my home. It's one of those things where they are alarmed.
It's definitely something, and we're just going to be looking into it a little bit more to see if we can figure it out.
Another mayor in New Jersey says the aircraft appear to be observing the state's critical infrastructure, like reservoirs. With pressure building on U.S. federal officials to take action, the Biden administration indicated yesterday that it wasn't concerned, as the drones haven't actually harmed anything.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus. We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Some local and federal lawmakers weren't satisfied with that explanation. One Republican state senator said the U.S. Department of Defense should get involved to shut down airspace or chase down the aircraft for answers. And U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, suggested the drones should be shot down if necessary.
Is it constitutional?
The legislative branch of the U.S. government is the first branch mentioned in the Constitution. True or false? Answer here, true. Immediately after the preamble in Article 1, Section 1, the Constitution states, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress.
Hey!
Did you know the new U.S. Congress is set to begin on January 3rd? It will be the 119th Congress. To see where it fits into the U.S. government, check out the government tree at periodicpresidents.com.
On this date in world history,
an English explorer named Francis Drake set sail on December 13th, 1577. One of his main goals was to attack and plunder Spanish settlements in North and South America, but his voyage, which lasted 3 years, ultimately became the first circumnavigation of the globe by an Englishman. 4 months before his famous midnight ride, American patriot Paul Revere took off on a lesser-known midday ride on this date in 1774. At that time, he was racing from Boston to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, to warn people there that the British were coming. And on this date in 2003, U.S. forces in Iraq captured former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. The ousted leader was found hiding in a hole near the Iraqi city of Tikrit. He was convicted of crimes against humanity and executed 3 years later.
Word and knowledge. Who is known as the father of computing? Tim Berners-Lee, Steve Wozniak, Charles Babbage, Thomas Edison. Because of his work on the first mechanical computer in the 1800s, an English inventor named Charles Babbage is considered the father of the technology.
Up next, quantum computing. And you. The Google technology company says it's created a new processor that's so fast it can solve a problem in 5 minutes that would take today's traditional computers 10 septillion years to figure out. The idea of quantum computing isn't new, but it's also not a reality yet because the processors are incredibly sensitive and sometimes their calculations are wrong. Google says its new chip is more accurate and more reliable, but it's not ready for prime time. If the company is able to build on this new technology and all goes well, it might have a commercial quantum machine ready by 2030. The World from A to Z will be back next week. We plan to produce new shows through the 20th before we're off the air for the Christmas and holiday break. In a season of exchanging gifts, you might be surprised to find there's science behind the principle that it's better to give than to receive. It might even tie into better mental health.
In a season where your time and wallets may be stretched thin, balancing indulgence and giving back can be tough.
We think, okay, well, if I give my time, I'll have less time, I'll be so stressed. But the reality, the science tells us something very different.
Social psychologist Sarah Conrath says research shows when you give to others, whether it be time or money, you experience psychological and physiological benefits.
Some of my research is showing that people live longer, especially when they're giving their time to others.
Conrath offers 3 things people can think about before giving their time or money. 1. Connections. Give with those you care about or give for them. 2. Choice. Find a genuine reason to give and find something that fits your natural interest. And finally, choose something where you can see the end result or positive impact your giving has on others.
Make it real and genuine. Give from your heart to things you really care about, to people you care about.
At worldatozorg, we've gotten more than 230,000 requests for shoutouts this season alone, so here are 4 more. Starting in the Pelican state of Louisiana, we see Miss Matthews' class watching. The Trojans are at Alexandria Senior High School in Alexandria. Squim Middle School is in the Evergreen state of Washington. Great to have Mrs. Withrow's, Mrs. Moritz's, and Mr. Smith's class with us. The Timberwolves watching from Squim. From Loveland, Colorado, it's all good in Miss Good's class. The Cougars of Walt Clark Middle School are in the Centennial State. And thanks to Mrs. Black's class for watching from Ider in Sweet Home, Alabama. Ider High School is the home of the Hornets. Before he took the train in Chicago, Santa must have stopped by a zoo in Belgium because the animals there recently ripped into an array of gifts that gave them a taste of holiday cheer. The elephants broke bread and packed away peanuts, of course. The Sitatungas seemed satisfied with carrots. The tapir tore into a box of hay, and the civet seemed keen to start snooping for whatever civets eat. I totally had to look all these animals up, by the way, except the elephant. But those weren't the only ones that got gifts. A partridge got a pear tree, the Grinch got a heart, Snoopy got the Red Baron, Santa got a kiss from Mommy, the Chipmunks got a song, the Jingle Bells got rocked, Dominic the Donkey and Susie Snowflake both got played on my Pandora, but a reindeer just got a lump of coal because it ran over Grandma. It's a marshmallow world from A to Z, and you mean the world to me. I'm Carl Azuz.